The Nottingham Forest shopping list continues as more left backs, left wingers are linked to the club. It doesn't matter when we're playing that crap. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. In today's video, we'll be talking to you about the 6 million more linked players that are coming to Nottingham Forest that probably won't be coming to Nottingham Forest. It really is the theme of this window. There's left backs, there's 2 of them in fact, and a couple more players, but will they come? Who the hell knows anymore? If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. You get those last few tickets available for the barbecue. The link is in the description. All right, let's get on with this. Before we start talking about the players that are linked to Nottingham Forest, let's just have a quick word about the 2 friendlies so far. And as always, I've always said, we're honest on this channel. We don't care if our opinion's in the minority or against the grain or whatever. And I'm just going to give my quick, honest opinion on those 2 matches. And so far, I've just not been impressed at all. I know the whole mantra, friendlies, minutes and legs, all the cliches and everything like that. But I am just going to literally judge what I've seen on the pitch. Maybe when we play Levante at the weekend, we'll smash them 5-0. And then I can judge that and say what a great performance. But honestly, I don't understand what we're trying to achieve from what I've seen on the pitch. Play Notts County, who had just lost to Stoke 5-1. And we looked like the team that was in a lower league than they were. Let's be honest, it was one of the driest games I've ever seen. On top of that, come yesterday in Valencia. What the hell was that starting team that Cooper picked? 4 centre-backs, 4 CMs, and 1.5 attacking players. I mean, you could tell before the match even kicked off, it was a training session of low-block football. And it was, again, boring and dull to watch. Now, is this Steve Cooper sending out a message to Marinakis, maybe saying, I need some players, look what I've got to put on the pitch? I don't know. But I will ask Cooper, where the hell is Scarpa? How can you play Maatsen and Bowler in both games and not give Scarpa any minutes? And I don't want to hear any BS about Scarpa being injured or match fit or he's got cryptocurrency on the mind or whatever. He's been training day in, day out, and yet he doesn't get a single minute on the pitch. Everyone who was against Scarpa last season was saying, oh, let's see how he does preseason, get a full preseason under his belt, and then let's judge him. Well, he hasn't even been given that. So what's the point in it? Why are we playing Maatsen? Everyone knows Maatsen will not start next season for Forest. If a loan offer comes in, they'll probably take it for Maatsen. Scarpa is not going anywhere. Scarpa has had bids and offers rejected. He wants to stay at Nottingham Forest. At the very least, for those of you who don't like Scarpa, you can't question his attitude towards the team. But for some reason, he's just not fitting in with what Cooper wants to see. But we, or should I say me, I'm not going to speak for anyone but myself, I want to see what he can produce on the pitch. You don't go from winning Player of the Year in Brazil, 2 awards, everything else, being better for Palmeiras than Danilo was, to forgetting how to play football. I just don't get it. That's the Scarpa bit. In terms of the actual setup, what I want to see is one cohesion between the players. At the moment, as we all know, we've brought no players in. So this team, in theory, apart from the 6 that came in January, have got to know each other for the last year, for the last 12 months or so. So there should already be some chemistry coming in. So why are we playing these players out of position in these weird and wacky formations? Why are we not using some of the more attacking players? Why do we go from a 4-2-3-1 in the first game to a 5-4-1 at the very best? That's probably what you could line it up as. And just low block football. When Cooper came out last season and says he doesn't want to play like this, well, if you don't want to play like this, why are you doing it pre-season? I just don't get it. And then on the transfers, what are we doing? It's the 19th of July. We have no new signings. We get linked to 600 players every day. And quite frankly and honestly, I'm bored of it. I just want someone through the door. I don't care who it is now. Just get us a signing, someone who's going to progress the team forward, someone we as a fan base can get excited about, and just start doing your business. because the Premier League kickoff is not that far away. It's less than a month away. And how are these new players coming in gonna gel and get time and minutes in the leg, as the saying goes, if they're not at Nottingham Forest? And that's the bit that frustrates me and bugs me. Now, the rest of the pre-season friendlies, I don't know what to expect anymore. To be honest, the excitement of it has gone. I mean, pre-season has never been that exciting a time in terms of the actual matches. There's always the switches, the kids coming on, etc. But honestly, there's just nothing to show me that there's been any progression from last year. If we are being frank and honest and objective about this, Forest are now a worse team than they were when we finished the game against Crystal Palace. As in, we are a weaker team. We've lost Lodi. We still haven't got Henderson back. There's two key positions that we still haven't recruited for. So just on those two facts alone, we are weaker. And like, this is meant to be progression season on season. So you have to get these recruitments in. Now, don't tell me Forest can't attract players. We can. We're a Premier League team. The Premier League pull is huge. But any player coming from the Bundesliga, from Syria, from wherever in Europe, they are attracted to the Premier League. Just because you're not a Man City or an Arsenal doesn't mean you can't get players. So the question really is, what is the recruitment team doing? Why are they taking so long to do it? It just bugs the crap out of me. I honestly think we're missing Dane Murphy. I think he was really good in what he did over the last 8, when he was here, before he got removed. I really think he was a catalyst to change for Nottingham Forest. And are we now missing that person in charge who can push us forward, who can drive the recruitment process? I don't know. Look, it's still too early to judge Ross Wilson and his team, but the clock is ticking and it is time to act. It's time to get the players in. It's time to give Cooper a squad that he can work with, have time to work with before the preseason starts. And yes, I'll say it again. Preseason games are preseason games, get minutes in the belt and everything else. But that applies to both teams, not just to Forest. Valencia would have come under the same, mantra for that. So why were they able to produce a bit more attacking football and a bit more flair? We saw pockets of players. Danilo, been class both games. Mangala, I've been impressed with. I've even been impressed with Shelby. I've got nothing against the kids coming and having a half on the pitch or what have you. But I still do want to see the core of that team on the pitch trying to play progressive football, especially when we are playing lower league opposition like Notts County. And honestly, is there anyone out there who can tell me we looked like the Premier League team against Notts County? Because I didn't think so. If anything, it was the other way around. And then the other thing we got to stop doing as a fan base is kind of leeching onto quick performances. I said after the County game when everyone was whanging the jokes around, I was like, hang on, man. He's only played 45 minutes for Forest. Let's not get carried away with these players. Let's see what they can produce over a summer. And he was crap yesterday. Now, was it his fault that he was the only recognised attacking player on the pitch? No, but he didn't do much, did he? So there's all these things that are starting to frustrate me. Thought I'd get it off my chest. As always, you can agree with it, you can disagree with it, you can agree with parts, disagree with parts, but get your thoughts and how are you feeling? This preseason has started. Yes, I know it's still early days, but I'm judging what I've seen already. And as I said earlier, when we come to the Levante match, the Leeds match, etc., then I'll judge those as well. And if I see marked improvement, I will call it out as well. But at the moment, it's shit. Okay, let's move on and talk about the players that are linked. And Ian Maatsen from Chelsea, who was on loan at Burnley, who played 39 games last season and got himself 4 goals, is a very good left back. Still not proven at Premier League level, but has a huge asking price around his neck of 20 million. And then people wonder why we rejected 30 million for Jono. Look, is he good? Yes. Is he Prem proven? No, as I just said. Can Forest afford to take a risk and spend 20 million on an unproven youngster? I think it's too much. For me, if Forest want to pursue this one, and I do think he has the potential, maybe a loan to buy option would be the best alternative here. And it's clear to see that Forest are struggling to get a left back in. And maybe are going to get to the stage where they hit the panic button. So hopefully that doesn't happen. And hopefully Forest can get business done in the next few days. Look, am I believing all these transfers and links anymore? No, not really. I'm at the stage now where show me them holding the shirt up, then I'll buy into it, because we've had so many left back links, so many goalkeeper links, so many whatever, it's just getting boring and repetitive right now. And I'm sure you guys are feeling it in the chat. In fact, I've seen comments on it and I totally understand what you guys are saying. So yes, he is linked to Nottingham Forest. Can we really splash out 20 million on him, potentially 20 on Dean Henderson? Then we're going to need some money for a CDM. There's a lot that Forest still need to recruit for, and it's going to come at a price tag, and it's going to require players going out, which yet again is another frustration because we're not seeing that happening much. So he's linked to Forest. Would I take him? Yes, but not for 20 million. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. So another bad thing to come from yesterday's game was the awkward fall from Moussa Niakate, and it looks like he's dislocated his elbow. Well, it doesn't look like. Cooper's come out and said he is. In fact, here's the quote from Cooper. You hope that with a dislocation you can put it back into place and the damage may not be as severe as what it might be, but we don't know. It might still be an injury that can keep him out for a while, or it might be a quicker recovery than it first looked. We'll keep our fingers crossed. So basically, we're not getting any clarity on the Moussa Niakate injury. In terms of a dislocation, he is right. Sometimes you can just pop it back in, and then after a few days, the bruising goes down. Or if there's any ligament or cartilage damage, that can extend the injury for weeks, sometimes if not months. And it also depends on, is it his dominant hand or his non-dominant hand as well. So yeah, I understand why Cooper's being all coy about it. It's still too early to judge, and I do tend to agree with him on that. But it is worrying, because if Niakate is out, that's one half of the rocks we have at the back injured. And is he really made of glass? We've seen plenty of injuries from him last season. And with Felipe being the age he is, yes, I know wine gets better with age, but at some point he may crumble and break down. Do Forest now need to recruit another centre-back? In my opinion, yes, we do. And, the links we've had somewhat have been decent. We've had the Greek boy who looks absolutely fantastic, and the guy from Leverkusen, whom I'm a huge fan of as well. So hopefully we can get one of those done. But in terms of new transfer links and everything like that, let me just give you a quick summary of it. Again, let's wait till they hold the shirt up. But there's talks that Forest are going to put a 10 million bid in for Callum Hudson-Odoi, as Cooper is still a huge fan of him. Whether or not that's true, who the fuck knows anymore? We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so let's move on to a striker link. But before we do, just a quick reminder, if you want to know more about the Chelsea left back, Dino on our FFTV High Press channel has done a highlights reel on him. If you haven't seen much about him and want to check him out, go check it out after this video. The link will be on the end screen. Okay, Dia, the striker from Serie A, who has been linked to Nottingham Forest earlier on in the window, now has his release clause about to expire, and his release clause is at 21 million. And they've got till tomorrow night to decide whether or not they want to pay that. So Forest have been linked with him before. We have brought him to you. He got 16 goals in the league last season. In a slow defensive league, that's not too bad of a return. Is he anywhere near the top of my shopping list? Absolutely not. But at 21 million for a striker, it wouldn't be the worst of business. Would you guys take him or not? Let me know in the comments down below. As always though, I'm not going to believe anything until they're holding the shirt up anymore, or we hear it from one of our good sources. And at the moment, I haven't heard much on this one. But that is your Forest news for today, guys. I know I've ranted on a bit. I was going to say I do apologize, but I don't. It's my opinion and it's my feelings. And this is the whole point of Forest Fan TV, because we have created a platform where, one, we'll be honest with you guys on how we feel, but secondly, it's a safe space for everyone to have their opinion and say what they think exactly about what's going on in Nottingham Forest. There's no point just sitting here and saying, yeah, it was a good performance yesterday. I've got to be honest about it. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? If you disagree with me, let me know why. But don't put the cliches out there, minutes in the leg and all this stuff. Let's have a good constructive conversation in the comments. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new here, and we'll see you on the next video, hopefully with some actual signings. And come on, you Reds.